We are going to look at idea generation and problem identification. By the way, this was supposed to be idea generation and problem identification. However, I wrote problem identification and idea generation, but it should start from here. So problem identification is the foundation of tech innovation. Okay? An idea. If you have no idea, there's nothing you're doing here. Oh no. Of course, you have every reason to be here, but if you don't have no idea, you cannot proceed to the next stages of tech innovation. Okay? So, you're here, probably you don't have any idea. So this lesson is going to help us to spot different ideas, and then we get one of the many we might spot, and then we start building that. That is why we are learning this for now. So under idea generation, we have what we call problem identification. So it's the foundation of tech innovation. It is the process of recognizing real-world issues that need solutions. Okay? We saw some examples of people, what they were able to create, and also their return on investment. Okay? And we want to look at how you can generate your own idea. So we are saying that every innovative idea starts with a problem or an opportunity that can be addressed using technology. Remember, we are talking of tech innovation. So when we understand a problem, okay, the more effective and innovative our solutions will be. So there are very many ways to come up with great ideas. So our first focus is going to be on problems. But I'm not saying that all ideas come out of problems. You have to understand that there are some ideas that come out of opportunities. And of course, we shall be able to talk about that later on. But we are going to first focus on problem identification. So generating meaningful ideas requires a structured approach, okay? And this approach involves observing the world around us, okay? There, we reflect on our strengths, we explore our passions, and align our ideas with global challenges. So the first thing I usually speak about when we are talking about tech innovation is understanding your calling. Okay, knowing your calling is something so important. I'll take you in the Bible. In the Bible, there's a gentleman called Jonah. Now, this gentleman was supposed to go to a certain city to declare that the Lord was not so happy with that city, so that they could maybe repent or face the consequences. That was his calling. He tried his level best to run away from his calling. And in this process, he faced very many challenges. And he was even about to die. But just so, God was able to redeem this gentleman, but he had to do his calling. Though he was redeemed, he was not redeemed to go back home and sleep, but to go and perform his calling. So, we cannot escape our calling. Each person has their own calling, and we find this in our strengths, in our passions. Okay? And of course, I can't say that everyone out there knows what their calling is. And some of us know a vague understanding of our calling. Because for you, you think your calling is to be a pastor. I've seen some people say, my calling is to be a pastor, just because they look at pastors and they admire them. But then they have no attribute of that. And then others say, my calling is to be a pilot, just because when they watch movies, they see that pilots are the most important people on the plane. Okay, and everyone respects them, and they put on some good caps and all those things. And other people say, I think my calling is to be a doctor, because even my mother told me that I have to be a doctor. So that is a vague understanding of your calling, but your calling comes from within you, and it starts when you're way back. So I always share my story. My calling was always to be an educator. And I always ran away from this because I didn't really see good teachers making money, because most of my teachers in high school were broke, being that I didn't attend some of these good international schools. So my teachers were a bit broke, and I was like, I cannot be a teacher. But everything was pointing that I should be one, because while in class, I was heading all student discussions, and specifically I was interested in history, and I could teach my fellow kids, and they were always attentive, even more than when a teacher is teaching. But at university, when I went at university, I got a free scholarship to do education from a prestigious university, and I turned it down. I was like, I cannot do education. And then I went and I did industrial art and design. But your calling will always catch onto you. And as I was doing industrial art and design, boom, I was broke, looked for jobs, looked for here and there, went into tourism, went into creating this and this, until when I went to a certain institute looking for some opportunities, maybe to do for them some flyers and graphics so that they can give me some money. But they told me, it's as if you can be able to teach this, can you? Because we have learners who would love to learn graphics. I was like, hey, I've always been running away from this thing of teaching. But I taught, and I was so good at teaching that they made me the head of school of industrial art. And I was around 21 years. But what I want to emphasize here is that before we even proceed, because you might be blown away by the opportunities and the possibilities of different solutions, you have to really focus on your calling and see how you apply technology in your calling and be unique. There, you will not have to work any single day in your life. You know what? Because you'll be doing what you love. So there's a saying that says, if you do what you love, you don't work any single day. You just have fun. Even when things are so tough, you still have this fun, and you can't give up because you're doing what you want. When we started Funland, we spent 6 months without generating anything, but we were releasing cash day by day. But I didn't give up because I was in education and I loved education, because that was my calling. Now, back here, we are talking about problem identification.